From the FM service of the Liberia Broadcasting System in Painesville, a very good afternoon and welcome to Newsline. 30 minutes of the most recent news from and about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today is Monday, 19th February, 2024, and I'm Anthony Vawan presenting. In our big stories this afternoon, Foreign Minister Sarah Beslo-Yanti boasts Liberia's democratic maturity following successive transitions.
The Liberia that has been known for being a contributor to the birthing and midwifing of many democracies on the continent, that Liberia is back.
Former Nimba County District 9 Representative Johnson Gweklo is dead. Center for Transparency and Accountability releases investigative report on Liberia's education advancement program.
But it should be trusted because this report is a report of scholarship.
And away from home, thousands of Nigerians stick to the streets across major cities to protest against the rising cost of living. The details of these and other stories, sports and other developments. But first, the bulletin of news with Vavle Kamara.
Liberia has boasted of post-war success stories of successive democratic transitions as a statement to steady the democratic maturity. The country's peaceful transition signifies the fierce determination of Liberians to stay on the course of democracy. Speaking on behalf of President Joseph Boakai at the 37th Ordinary Summit of Heads of State and Government of the African Union in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Foreign Minister Sarah Beslo-Yanti said Liberia is well on course as a post-war success story in Africa.
War Liberia is work in progress. The Liberia that has been known for being a contributor to the birthing and midwifing of many democracies on the continent, the Liberia that's been a founding member of many great institutions, that Liberia is back. And that Liberia is back to be a part of the transformation of this continent.
Minister Yanti told the gathering President Boakai has committed himself to the Liberian people to be the champion who will lead the charge to elevate Liberia to nobler heights. The chief Liberian diplomat also noted that Liberia will continue to play a meaningful role in line with the framework of the African Union. Former Nimba County District 9 Representative Johnson Gweklo is dead. Family sources said Mr. Gweklo died Sunday evening after taken ill at the St. Joseph Catholic Hospital in Monrovia. The cause of his death remains unknown. He was representative of Nimba County for 6 years and last served as the chairman on the House Committee on Rules, Order, and Administration. In a statement, the House of Representatives said the former lawmaker's death has left a profound void in the hearts of those who he had the privilege of knowing him. A 5-year report on the implementation of the Liberia Education Advancement Program has been released in Monrovia. The report was conducted by the Coalition for Transparency and Accountability in Education, COTE, headed by the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia, Central. Central Program Director, Attorney Gerard Yekula, told the Super Morning Show on Monday that the report shows effective teachers monitoring, increased enrollment, and students' improvement in the sciences.
I think there are positive things to learn from there. The fact that we have increased teacher presence in schools and reduced absenteeism at teachers. I think it's a good thing.
Attorney Yekula, however, said the report uncovered a lack of adequate information and data from the operations of Bridge Liberia, the leading implementing partner that supervises about 75% of public schools. According to him, the report is recommending a holistic review of the LEAP program, as well as ensuring a level playing field in government's effort to privatize public education at the primary and secondary levels. Police in Magibi County are investigating 7 persons for their alleged involvement in the death of 34-year-old man Batu Yeke. A correspondent said those being investigated are 6 women and a man. According to our correspondent, prior to his death, the victim had a quarrel with the women after he allegedly stopped them from fishing in the disputed water. Meanwhile, the body has been turned over to family members for burial. Forestry Development or Forestry Training Institute and partner have concluded a day-long training to validate the Green Corridor program in Tottenburg, Bombing County. The training, supported by the United Nations Development Program, brought together 25 participants from Montserrado, Nimba, Grand Bassa, Magibi, and Bombing counties. According to our correspondent, the validated document will later be presented to UNDP for its implementation by planting and replanting of trees in 4 of Liberia's 15 counties. The correspondent named Nimba, Grand Bassa, Magibi, and Montserrado counties as beneficiaries. The Green Corridor program requires the identification of strategic or degraded land in the various counties to plant trees in a more coordinated way where humans and animals can even seek shelter. Bapolo County Health Officer Dr. Peter George has donated several office materials to 14 health centers in the county. The items included laptops, printers, stationery, and a motorbike worth over $20,000. According to our correspondent, the materials were procured from the County Development Fund. A correspondent said the office items were received by the officers in charge of the 14 health centers in the county. And more than 50 farmers and gardeners have benefited from a 5-day training in Tototabon County. The initiative was carried out by ECOWAS Commission in collaboration with the Tumutu Training Center in Totota. According to our correspondent, the farmers were trained in producing local fertilizers to enhance the production. The participants were drawn from Totota and its surroundings. Meanwhile, the participants thanked the ECOWAS Commission for the knowledge acquired.
Vafli Kamara with the news bulletin. Vafli will be back a little later with our weather report and detail of our international developments. Liberia Education Advancement Program, or LEAP, initially known as Partnership Schools for Liberia PSL, was initiated by the government of Liberia in 2016. That arrangement saw the government transition public schools into private management in an effort to improve access and quality in education. But a 5-year report on the implementation of the program is out, and it leaves many to consider a holistic review of the program itself. The report was conducted by the Coalition for Transparency and Accountability in Education, COTE, headed by the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia, Central. On the Super Morning Show Monday, Vafli Kamara asked Central Program Director Attorney Gerald Yakula what makes the report credible, for which its recommendations must be considered by stakeholders.